No, I don't know you.
These are all the people Bill and Janice are staying with, and cousin Terry and his wife. Whoops, sorry. He's running over you.
Hi, are you Sharon? Hi, Sharon. I'm Janice.
Oh, yes.
This is Valerie's sister. Oh, you met. Oh, okay.
Good thing I brought the lovely one. I know. When they told me I would be introducing the man of my dreams, I got really excited. So if Mr. Hugh Jackman or Brad Pitt are in, please come. Actually, it's the love of my life that I'm introducing to you. He served his country in Vietnam. Air Medal and the Bronze Star with Oak Leaf Cluster. This is going to take more than a minute if you keep go on. He came home and returned to broadcasting, where in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, where he was given the Humanitarian of the Year award in the bicentennial year, 1976. And he also had a 20-year run in the Guinness Book of World Records for most calls to a radio talk show. So we're very proud of that as well. In 2003, he won a Screen Actors Guild Award for his work in the film Chicago. And last May, he was inducted into the Rhode Island Radio Hall of Fame. And for that was two things. He makes me laugh every day. I met him when I was 17 years old, and I married him 11 months later. Oh my God. And we'll be married 47 years, and he is the love of my life, my husband, Bill Corsair McGrory.
What was her name again?
The beautiful Janice.
The beautiful Janice. First of all, my congratulations to my fellow inductees. What a wonderful group of young educators and athletes. Makes me feel like a pair of brown loafers in a room full of black tuxedos. This is something I wrote 58 years ago. And the East Providence Post was good enough to print it. Envy me not, for I am young. My future is doubtful, my life just begun. Envy me not, for youth I possess, with that I've been entrusted, I must do my best. Envy me not if I seem aloof, you've played this part, you know the truth. Envy me not as I rush on my way, time moves so swiftly I dare not delay. Envy me not when your life here is done, for you've earned your rest, but I am young. My journalism teacher, there'll be a little something extra in the envelope for you for starting that. Thank you very much. My journalism teacher saw that and decided maybe there was more to me than just being the class jokester. And so she made me the co-editor of the 1959 yearbook. Doesn't sound like much, but I'm dyslexic. And school for me had always been a matter of keep them amused, because I never conquered the fine art of reading a book. And so, on it went. I remember I had gone to 3 grammar schools, 2 high schools, and yet all my warm memories of school are at East Providence High. I'll give you an incident, take you to a rather peculiar location, the East Providence High School boys' room. I'm standing looking at the wall, and the man to my left, Charlie Viveris, says to the guy on my right, Joe Villanova, who's here today, Shippy's looking for a drummer and he can't find one. I'm a drummer, I said. And that began a musical experience that took a 16-year-old out of high school for a year and on the road with Bobby Chappelle and the Rockin' Royales. 16 years of age and on the road with a rock and roll band. It just doesn't get any better than that. Time to introduce you to a giant of a woman who never reached 5 foot tall. My mother. How do you convince a 16-year-old living a dream that he should come home and finish high school because that's more important? Everything I ever was and or will be that amounts to anything I owe to my mother. I loved her then as I love her today, and I just couldn't say no. So I came home and I signed up for my last 2 years of high school. I even tried to take a language so I could go to college. In those days you had to have 2 years of a foreign language before you were accepted. Times have changed. So I signed up to take Portuguese with Miss Mata, who's one of the sweetest teachers I've ever met. And the problem was my first day at class, everybody was already speaking Portuguese. And McGrawny was sunk like a cheap battleship. I went to the vice principal then, Mr. Burke, a real sweetheart of a guy, and I asked him if I could change to journalism, and he said no. And so I spent the rest of the year enjoying the company and watching my dreams of college fade away. Another teacher that made an impression on me was, in my senior year, Mr. McGinnis. It was his first year as a teacher. I said, what did you do before this? And he said, well, I was a traveling paint salesman. I said, that paid good? He said, that paid great. I said, so why did you go from that to teaching? And he said, Bill, some things are more important than money. One of the world's shortest inspirational speeches. Man, at the time, I didn't get it. But I'm standing here 73 now, and I will tell you, it's been a touchstone in my life, right along, all through a multifaceted career that involved a lot of decisions that weren't always the smartest financially, but some things are more important than money. Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. There's an irony here in that my daughter is an award-winning school teacher. And I suspect we'll have to credit her mom's gene pool a little more than my own on that one. I'm fortunate today. I have friends and family here. Friends who have become family, and family who have become friends. I'd like to introduce you to my wife. You might have noticed the attractive young lady that made a mistake a number of years ago and married me. She's my best friend, my partner, my writer, my producer, my television co-host, and the woman I love. I can think of nobody I would rather have shared the hills and valleys of this blessed life with than Janice Resnick of 61 Loudon Street, Oak Hill, Platt, Pawtucket, Rhode Island. This November, she mentioned, we will be married 47 years. Someone asked me what the secret was, and I told them, never assume you got the job. I still ask her to marry me every morning, and so far, so good. I've always been in a business that thrived on applause. It's how you know what you did was good. When I got up to get my diploma from East Providence High School, in spite of the fact it was against the rules, My class applauded for me. And I carried that ovation in my heart all these years. But today is kind of like a standing ovation. And I thank you all for telling me that what I did was good. Thank you.